The basic styles for the Torzai Hotel website display 3 pages in a 2-column layout. This sidebar on the right is in a div with the class aside. If I just select that in the CSS styles panel, you can see that it's got a left margin of 720 pixels. And the main content area is in a div which has the class content medium, and that is floated left into the wide margin which has been created by the aside div. For the tablet layout, what I want to do is this: make a single column layout and move the sidebar down to the bottom. So let's see how we do that by changing the style rules in the tablet CSS style sheet. I've gone back to my original page. I want to switch on live view and also select tablet from the window sizes menu so we can see what is going on. You can see at the moment that the sidebar is outside of the main area, so we need to move it down to the bottom. Let's open tablet CSS and I'll just reduce that in size so we've got more room to see what's going on. The first thing I need to do is to create a style for content medium which stops it floating. I also need to make the width auto, because when you float something it has to have a fixed width. I don't want the width to be fixed anymore because this is a flexible layout for the tablets. The left margin for the aside class also needs to be changed. Make that auto too. And let's also adjust the margins and padding on either side for both classes, content medium and aside. And let's see what that does in live view. There doesn't appear to be any change, so let's just refresh live view by toggling it on and off. And now we see that we've created a bit of a problem here. The background color to the content medium div has disappeared, and none of the margins or padding have been applied. And that gives me a little clue as to where the problem might be. Let's switch to the basic style sheet, and somewhere around about here, there we go, there is this little rule which I have created. As the comment points out, it fixes a margin bug in Internet Explorer 6 and 7. This is the infamous double margin bug that when you add a margin to an element and float it to the same side, Internet Explorer 6 and 7 double the margin. And so the way around this is to set the display property of the floated element to inline. It doesn't affect any other browsers, but it keeps Internet Explorer 6 and 7 happy. But obviously it's creating a problem now that our content medium div is no longer being floated. So the answer to that is to select this, cut it to your clipboard, and then go to Desktop CSS. And create a content medium class and paste that little bug fix in there. We'll save all related files and let's refresh live view, and you see that now everything has jumped back into place. Thank goodness for that. Because desktop CSS is read only by screens wider than 768 pixels, that display in line, which you've just moved to desktop CSS, will be used only by browsers that are floating that div, so everybody's kept happy. Now, in the desktop version of this page, there's an image which covers the bottom of the sidebar, but now that the sidebar stretches the full width of the page, that's no longer appropriate. So I need to fix that by putting in a new definition for an image to go with this sidebar. Just quickly put it in here. We need to refresh live view. And you see what's happened is that instead of having an image at the bottom, I've created a background image which goes on the side. Let's see how those changes affect another page that uses the two-column layout. Here's the layout as it appears in the desktop version. And let's switch to tablet size using the window sizes menu. And you see that the same has happened. It's been converted into a single column. And the only problem that I can see here is with this background image of cherry blossoms. We just need to add a little bit of padding on the right of this first paragraph so that it doesn't overlap the cluster of cherry blossoms. So let's quickly fix that by opening tablet CSS. And it's in the blossom div, and that's a heading 3, and we use an adjacent sibling combinator to affect the first paragraph. So padding right, we'll make it 90 pixels, and toggle live view on and off again. And there we are, we're no longer overlapping. Looks quite nice. And how about the final two-column page? There it is in the desktop view. Switch to tablet. Yep, it's all looking pretty good. I think the lesson there is 2 columns into 1 will go.